We are go for liftoff in T-minus 30.
Hit the record button.
Gosh, that's swell.
It's a Rose Blog Talk Radio.
In a galaxy, hold on, R2, hold on, sorry, R2D2 is very excited this morning because we have and hey, stop. All right. May the force be with you, everybody. This is an exciting episode for me because I love Star Wars. And I have none other than Henry. I always butcher people's names, so I don't want to do that. It's Henry Parizek.
Yep, that's correct, actually.
Okay. I don't want to butcher it. Okay. And do we have anybody else yet, or is Miriam on the line as well?
Yeah, still waking up, but yep, I'm here.
Yeah. I've been awake since a while. I'm like, what can I say? What can I start it with? So, anyways, in a galaxy not so far away here in Hollywood, we have a story that did it start here in California, or where did it start exactly?
No,
I don't remember.
So we both studied theater at the University of Iowa, and I was in the undergrad playwrights workshop, and this was what I worked on there. So it's from Iowa, I guess, more so, but it all started in Modesto with George.
Right. So yeah, tell us about George. So
George is a 90-minute play that we're doing at Hollywood Fringe down at Stephanie Fury, and it's about the kind of the sequence of events that led George Lucas to Star Wars. And through each act of the play, we see him making one of his first three movies, THX, American Graffiti, and Star Wars. And so it leads right up to where he goes off to shoot Star Wars.
Okay. And it also doesn't involve, Spielberg and who's the other guy? Coppola?
Francis Ford Coppola. Yeah.
Right.
So Spielberg
right.
is in there. Coppola's in there. Harrison Ford might be in there. There's a bunch of fun little big Hollywood figures scattered throughout there that kind of help you get through George's life, and they kind of narrate the way through the story.
Right. Yeah, I'm very excited. I'm like, I can't wait to do this show. So yeah, it's gonna be for those that are listening. I'm gonna compose myself now. So this show will be premiering at the Hollywood Fringe Festival. It's called George, period, or just George. And it's gonna be at the Stephanie Fury Studio Theater here in Hollywood. Starting on June 8th, they have shows. 5 shows.
Go for liftoff in T-minus 30.
Hit the record button.
So, yeah, real to see this. Like every time I have another guest, I'm like, oh my god,
What's your
Gosh,
favorite
that's
Star
swell.
Wars movie?
It's a Rose Blog Talk Radio.
I did see Star Wars in the theater. I did see all the Star Wars. I was fascinated by everything. But the one I treasure the most, and people will probably hate me for it, is Return of the Jedi, because I love the Ewoks. I totally love that scene in the forest, and the chase in the forest and all that. but I know that's the one that people hate the most sometimes because of the Ewoks. And I'm like, that's the
It
best
gets a lot of
part.
flack.
I don't know why.
It's so good.
It is, right? What is your guys' favorite scene or movie?
I go back and forth, but I have to probably say Empire is my favorite because I never saw a sequel at that scale that you're like, oh, I didn't think it could top the first one, but it definitely does in every way possible.
Go
And
for
it's just a lot
liftoff
of
in T
fun.
minus 30.
Hit the record button. It's a hard question because Empire's mine. I love it.
Yeah,
Gosh, that's swell.
It's a Lowe's Blog Talk Radio.
That was pretty much our first introduction to movies.
Yeah,
in
we were kind
general.
of the demographic for that movie
Yeah.
and those toys and everything.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
we, used to watch the originals on our, like, especially me, I used to watch the originals on my VHS tape, but when The Phantom Menace came out, I was like, oh, I can actually see a Star Wars movie in theaters, and I never saw anything like that, and I was obsessed with Darth Maul.
Yeah.
I just thought he was so evil, and I loved that, and
But
yeah.
I think we get it. We get why people aren't on board with that one so much, which is why Empire is the answer.
Yeah, that's the right answer. the politically correct answer. No,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's just Well, what's his name? The character that shall not be named. I forget his name. That's probably
Mr.
why
Banks.
I don't want to see him. That's him. Yes, he kind of ruined it for me. But no, actually, I don't know why Well, I guess because I grew up in the 70s and I watched it, in the theaters back then. It was like you had never seen anything like that before, unless you had seen Space Odyssey, and that's another thing.
Mm-hmm.
But it was just all these different characters and the robots and the creatures and the music. The music's amazing. I mean, I just love that themes that and that's one of the things that I miss. Nowadays you don't have really those great scores that you will forever remember that. It's
it's
that comes
weird.
on. It's like,
Kind of
oh yeah, Star Wars.
At some point I think probably in the 90s, they took away the big melodic themes, and it got really dark and just kind of all sounded like spy music. But it kind of seems like big themes are kind of coming back, but nothing can beat John Williams.
No, yeah, exactly. I mean, and then Steven Spielberg does the same thing with Jurassic Park, and well, that's the only one I can think about. But Back to the Future, I guess they have all this theme music that or Psycho, Psycho obviously, but music is very important. I don't know, they probably knew that. They're like, well, we have to have a great song. That's the way Hollywood was.
Had to fight for that, for the big score to come through, because it was so. Fox had never really seen a movie that had a big climate classical score like that had so much melody to it for that type of film. And so that was a big fight the whole way. And I think probably the only reason he was able to do it is because while he was making it, Jaws had come out, and every studio was like, okay, we got to get John Williams on board. Because without Jaws, Star Wars' score might be so different.
Yeah.
Go for liftoff in T minus 30.
Hit the record button.
Where they were trying to top each other off, or was it a friendly competition?
With Steven, I think it was
Gosh, that's
more
swell.
It's a Lowe's Blog Talk Radio.
Francis kind of taught George not everything he knows, but kind of the ropes of how the Hollywood business works. And so, like, American Graffiti was a big kind of crux in their relationship, because after THX had become a little fractured, and that's when The Godfather came out. And, you know, THX flopped. So The Godfather came out, and Francis is this huge success. He's the biggest director in Hollywood at the time, and George wanted to prove, no, I can be that as well. But with Steven, I think it was always a little bit more friendly.
Right. Well, didn't they collaborate at one point? I don't know if he was. I think so. Didn't they? I don't remember, but I think.
They collaborated on Indiana together.
Yeah, they made all the Indiana films together. And George is quoted as saying that in the best case scenario,
Go for liftoff in T minus 30.
Hit the record button. In the worst case, he makes it himself.
So yeah, what inspired you guys to
Gosh, that's swell.
It's a low blog talk radio.
I found this festival. It sounds fun. I remember I had two friends who did this festival when they first came out here, and their play did really well, and they really enjoyed the process and everything, and they said it would be a good way to put your name out there and just to do something creatively when you first move out here, because we just moved out here in September. And that was kind of when we moved here, it was kind of a little scary. We didn't really know what to do, and this was just like the perfect opportunity to make art and put our name out there and do something that we're extremely passionate about. I mean, when Henry and I first met, the first conversation we had was Star Wars. I mean, I was just so excited to talk about Star Wars with somebody, and we know what it's like to have that excitement and get a group of people to talk about Star Wars, because it means a lot to people. And
it means a lot to a lot of people.
Yeah, and we just want to bring that and show, like, you know, this is what made us get into movies, and we think that's such a perfect message to bring to this festival about, like, a Hollywood story that is also universal to anybody, because George is very much, and he was an ordinary man that became this very extraordinary person, and there's that in all of us. There's that extraordinary person in all of it, but you just have to go through this journey. And through the play, George does pretty much go through a hero's journey, just like Luke does.
And George, he's such at that time in his life, he was just a kid that wanted to make things. And I think anyone in Fringe, or anyone that comes to a Fringe show out here, is just kind of that same thing. They're just a kid who wants to go after their dream. And so we thought this would be the perfect show, because everyone can relate to it. And everyone tends to like Star Wars, too. Right.
I mean, they're the ones that made the whole blockbuster genre, too. You know, back before Jaws, there was nothing, you know, maybe Hitchcock, but like an event movie, it was a big event, and anticipation and lines trying to see, you know, any of the Star Wars movies. They still make lines now, but I guess. But, you know, they invented that. They invented the blockbuster, the teen movies, the summer movies, and you were looking forward to seeing what they come up with next. And for me, it was just like you said, Miriam. It inspired me to love movies. I love every Indiana Jones movies. I mean, that's another thing, you know, Steven. But George, in particular, he created a whole universe, and he built his own dictionary.
In T minus 30.
You know, so many characters, so many puppets, you know, like motivated me, like everybody else, I guess, that were wanted to see the show to see how they came up with that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he paved a way for such a huge influence in pop culture, and he also paved a way for new technology. We never saw technology at that scale, and I think that's what was happening during the prequels, with him figuring out how to use technology he's always wanted. It's more advanced at this time to tell his story.
Right. Great. So you guys, you've never done Hollywood Fringe before. Obviously, you said you just moved in last year, or you moved in?
Yeah, in September.
In September, yeah. This is our first time doing that. Yeah.
So how do you guys like it so far? Are we at
Go for liftoff in T-minus 30.
Hit the record button.
Gosh, that's swell.
It's a Blog Talk Radio.
Of course, there's a lot of there's so many places to go, and it's such a LA is such a kind of segregated community for people. But Hollywood Fringe has brought so many people together, and I just discovered it last year, or actually 2 years ago. Especially last year, being a part of it was just an amazing. They're very supportive. Is you haven't seen that anymore. I've been around artists before, and artists are not very. They don't collaborate as tight as this group has. I don't know if you have found that, but I have, and they support each other. They want to, and actually the Fringers are the ones that make or break your show, to be honest. So if you, you know what I mean? Like, if you're nice, if you're not a jerk, then of course your show will be a success. And it has to do with your personality, being yourself and not being an ass.
I hope you're not doing that.
Yeah.
No. Well, I haven't. Yeah, I don't think so.
Whenever we go,
you haven't been here long enough to be. Sorry. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was gonna say.
No, I'm going to say you haven't been. Oh yeah. The office hours.
Yeah, the community is so supportive of one another, and it's kind of, at first it was intimidating going to these big meetups, and like everyone kind of already knew everyone, and we're the new kids in town, so it's kind of like you got to sneak your way in and eventually like meet all these people, but they're also supportive of one another and encouraging. It's been really great.
Yeah, at our theater we have kind of just like a few people that we always see all the time who are doing shows at the same theater as we are, and we've been teaming up with them to do cross promotion, and it's been awesome, like how much support we've been getting and how much support we're trying to give them back, and it's been really fun.
Yeah, I see you guys have paired with Eric doing Treason. That was actually awesome. I was like, oh, cool. That's what I like to see that, because he shows pretty. It's actually, I saw a little bit of it in a workshop, and it is amazing. It's actually a very good writer. So he's like I said, there's so many shows that I want to see, and 400 of them is overwhelming. But if you I like to spend a little time talking about inspiration for the show and what's the show about. Go beyond the surface, because
Go for liftoff in T-minus 30.
Hit the record button. We like we artists, we
Yeah.
Yeah, it can be overwhelming. But yeah, you guys have to come to the party because the opening party, which will be the week after the previews, right? That is an amazing party. You guys have to come because that's when everybody is more relaxed. Everybody has at least done one opening preview, and they just want to celebrate. It's a celebration of having made it at least once, and okay, we got our feet wet, and now we can sort of relax. And then we have the award show at the end, which is always fun. So yeah, you guys you're in good company, I think.
Yeah, we're super excited about the party too. All everyone says is just awesome things about it, and that it's just a great time. Everyone seems to be in costume.
Go for liftoff in T minus 30.
Hit the record button.
Speaking of costumes, you guys have any costumes?
Gosh, that's swell.
It's a Blog Talk Radio.
We're trying to keep it very minimalistic, of course, but yeah, we're just trying to bring out this very vibrant 70s colors and the high-waisted jeans. I don't like bell bottoms, but I'm trying to stay away from them. Yeah.
Oh, okay. You don't like bell bottoms yourself?
I don't know. I just was not about that fashion for the 70s. I mean, it looks cool, I guess, when you're doing Soul Train, but, everyday kind of look, not for me.
No, I don't either. I was just kidding. But you guys have to. I don't know if Matthew probably has told you. Matthew Quinn has probably told you about runway. You have to do the runway because runway will feature your costumes, and they have a little runway show, and it's like a fashion show. But it's more fun than a fashion show.
It's really
like we even had carrots.
It's funny to imagine the George Lucas costume just in the middle of a runway, just like a flannel shirt and a beard.
That sounds cool. Yes. Yeah. Do that.
Amazing. He was an amazing dresser. He always had himself looking very fresh, I will say. And so I don't want people to go like, oh, he just wears flannel shirts and jeans. No, when he was younger, he had a lot of style. For sure. With my research, I just noticed that he was had a lot of style.
Right. Well, we should try to get him on get him to be in the audience. Come on, George Lucas.
Oh, we're trying.
This
show's about you.
About it.
Yeah.
Yeah, put it in the universe, right? Yeah, like there's an actor called Bill Posley. He's trying to get Noah Trevor to come to his show about biracial, growing up biracial in New York. And he's like, come on, Noah, I'm doing this for you. And he's drinking this hot sauce every day, every time the show ends before, so he can come and do it, come and be in the audience. He's like, I'm reserving this seat for you. Nobody's going to sit on it. You have a free seat. Come on. And so, yeah, I know we can reserve seats, but you probably kind of want to reserve one for George, right?
Yeah, just right in the center of all 5 shows, it'll just say Mr. Lucas. It'll just be empty every show.
Yeah, the entire theater will be just empty.
Well, you never know. I mean, it can happen. Like, believe it or not, last year I was at the Lounge Theater, and I was crossing the street. I was coming from the Black, the office hours theater, bar.
Right.
So I was coming from Black, and then we were going to see a show at the Lounge Theater. And we're walking the street. We cross the street.
Go for liftoff in T minus 30.
Hit the record button.
Everybody walking out, and I'm like, doesn't she look like
that's
the
swell.
street. I didn't have that.
It's a low blog talk radio.
From Netherlands. It was hilarious because he was passing out his flyer for Netherlands, and she was very cool. She was like, "Oh, okay, sure, oh yeah." And I'm like, "Oh my God, Halle Berry just came out of a Hollywood Fringe show."
Yeah, let's try to get Halle Berry at our show.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I love her.
Right? Yeah. No, we all. So I'm like,
Yeah.
if George Lucas is not available, or Harrison Ford's not available, somebody will be available. Or Steven. Anyways,
it's hard.
So
because,
is there any?
It's hard because we don't want to bother, I guess them, because I feel like the actors involved in Star Wars and George Lucas himself have kind of been weighed down from the fan base, because I feel there's like a very toxic
Go for
part
liftoff
of
in
like
T
Star Wars
minus
fan
30.
base. Hit the record button. I hope they all don't think we're all like that.
Yeah. Especially because some of the actors like big Star actors, those new movies, they can get a little weird, but I think
Gosh, that's swell.
It's a low blog talk radio.
They've already, like, George is probably so tired of people, talking to him about Star Wars, and he just probably wants to be left alone. And there's a part of me that's very much okay with that, and I'm okay if he doesn't come or doesn't want to see or doesn't want to come to your show, because it could be weird wanting, seeing a play about yourself. And so there's part of me where I feel like it's fine if he doesn't come, because that man has been through so much trying to bring these movies for us, and so there's part of me I think that he was probably like, I'll pass, but you never know. You definitely never know.
Right. I mean, does he go to this? He owns this acres in somewhere. I've seen the interviews with Oprah and whatever, where he's showing her this ranch out in the middle of somewhere in California. I don't know where it is. I forget. But no, I get it. I mean, yeah, people assume, when they come to Hollywood, people assume that they will be spotting the stars right on Hollywood Boulevard, or, in their houses waving at the tour buses, and it's it's such a cliche to think about it, but some people do believe that happens, and because that's being promoted, the TMC tours, and actually I have I'm doing Lyft, right, lately, and so I get two girls from the Jersey Shore, from New Jersey, or kind of New Jersey Shore-ish. And they were fascinated by the tour bus, and I'm like, we are actually following the tour bus, so you really are getting a tour. So you don't have to be in the tour bus to get to see. And I can tell you more about this city than they can, without the stupid commentary and the gossip and all that. I kind of know the history of my town, and they had the greatest time, and they were going to Beverly Hills Hotel, and they didn't want to get out of their car, and I'm like, we arrived. You guys just go to the bar. It was just funny to see them, like, they're like, oh my God, what do we do? Just get off. Just pretend that you're staying in a hotel. It was just funny, but the perception of Hollywood, and it was a sunny day, obviously it was nice and all that, but it's not all. Sometimes Hollywood is not what it's meant to be, or what they see, what you picture in the movies, especially if you're from a different country, I don't know if that happens to you guys when you came here. You were like, this is Hollywood. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's kind of the exact phrase.
Yep. Yeah. They're like, this is it.
Yeah.
It is. It's exactly right. And it's so small. People assume that Hollywood is humongous and such a big town, and
Your
it's
go
not.
for liftoff in
And
T
you
minus
actually
30.
are.
Hit the record
Gosh, that's swell.
People will talk about you guys. So it's this town. You do one thing in one place, everybody knows about it. So just a word of caution. If you don't want to piss anybody off.
Yeah.
Right.
But anyways, before I forget, you guys have any? How do people follow you on social media and stuff to see about yourself?
Yeah, so we're on Instagram. The handle is at GeorgePlay.2019. And on there you get like all the rehearsal photos, all these cross promotions that we're doing. I think we have a few more coming up before the show with some other really cool plays. Like you mentioned earlier, right now we're running one with Treason. So anybody listening, if you put Empire as your code word, you'll get 20% off both our show and their show.
Oh, okay, cool.
Your go for liftoff in T minus 30.
Hit the record
Project number is 6013, but you can just type in George.
Gosh, that's swell.
It's a Lowe's Blog Talk Radio.
The font. The font.
Yeah.
That's not what we're about yet.
That's what I was like. What's the word? Font. So yeah, the font is just like the Star Wars font, and you'll get to see it. Once again, the show is premiering on June the 8th, and there's June 16th, 23rd, 26th, 28th. So you have plenty of time, and be prepared for 90 minutes because there's no intermission, right?
Yep, no
No
intermission.
intermission.
Right. But it's going to be, I mean, if you're a, Star Wars fan, George Lucas fan, or you just want to check it out, just be prepared. It's 90 minutes, so go to the bathroom, get your, lunch or dinner before, eat it, try to, But yeah, is there anything else I didn't mention that you guys want to? Oh, it's family friendly, so you can bring your teenagers. There's no warning there, so it's safe.
Yes, yes.
And what else? Anything else, you guys? No? Yeah. R2D2.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you so much for
This is an
having
awesome
us.
time.
Very fun morning talk.
Okay. Yeah, it was. And this R2D2 trying to tell us that this. Okay. All right, R2. All right. I'm such a goof. All right, guys. It was great having you here, and thank you for calling in the show. And as always, please like my Facebook page because I'm going to be posting. I might change, venues or change my the format or whatever. Maybe on YouTube. It may not be on YouTube. Most likely will be on Facebook. So go to Facebook and like the page, like their page too, and come see George.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome, guys.
It's a Lowe's Blog Talk Radio.
We are go for liftoff in T minus 30.
Hit the record
Gosh, that's swell.
see that coming.